I keep seeing everybody make the popsicles, the Patriotic popsicles, and it's summer decor. And I thought, well, they're really cute. I really like them, but I probably won't ever make them, but they sure are cute. They'd make cute bow fillers. Well, I was out with my chickens in the garage, and I saw these boards. I have stacks of them. They're like groove and tongue boards. My husband done inside of a tack shop for saddles and stuff, and they covered the walls in this, and he brought me home a lot of the cutoff pieces, and I have bunches of them. And I was looking at that, and I thought that would make a cute popsicle, because when I was a kid, I actually remember 2 sticks coming down, and then in the middle they were indented, and you take them, break them like that, and you'd have 2 popsicles. So I saw that, and I thought, I'm going to try my hand at that. Everybody makes them different, does it their own way, and they turn out so cute. So I'm going to I've made me a pattern. I made it 4.75 wide and 4.75 tall and 2.75 wide. And then I just folded it in the middle so it would fit down in there like that. And I traced it off. So now I'm going to take it to my scroll saw and cut it out. To start with, on my popsicles, I'm not going to paint the whole thing. So I'm just going to do the fronts. So I am going to put the stain, the antiquing wax, on the sides and the back. Oh boy, I'm making a mess. Dripping everywhere. But I'm going to do this to all 3 of them, and then I'll come back and we'll start on the fronts. Well, I printed these out here. I got it off of Creative Fabrica. And I've kind of laid, well, I have, not kind of, I've traced around on that one, and that one. Now I got to figure out, I've got a different sheet here that has the same colors. It came in this set. I'm trying to figure out just what I want on it. See, because that's got, those have the stars. That has the stripes. So maybe I'll just do the stripes on that one. Get up here and get a little bit of the blue. Just going to trace around that. Just enough to where I can cut it out. Like that. And I did spray hairspray to seal this, so when I go over it with Mod Podge, it doesn't want to bleed, possibly. And then this one. And then I'm going to go around this one. This makes the paper easier to handle. All right. I think like that. So I'm going to go in here, Mod Podge them on. And this is just plain copy paper that I printed the images out on. I'm going to push on the indent right there. Yeah. Then I'll let this dry a little bit, or I'll let it dry, and then I'll use my finger sander to sand it down off the edges. And I'll Mod Podge over the top of them also. And I'll just do this to all 3 of them and let them dry. And I did want to mention, if you don't have wood or any way to cut these, use cardboard. Just go to Pinterest and type in popsicle pattern, print you out a pattern, and do it and cut it out in cardboard. And then for the, like where this doesn't have an indent, you see people putting the sticks down the middle, and that gives it a little depth, and you can paint it. I mean, you'll have your, you see if you look them up, they use popsicle sticks. Not everybody has an indent like this just happened to have in the wood that I have. Now I'm just taking my finger sander and just going straight down. And it's noisy and my silhouette's going, so I'll break that right there. You can see it comes out smooth. And once I get that done, I'll go over it with my Mod Podge. I got my Distress ink out, and I went around the edges on this one. It's just too white for me. And I did do up some little tags. That's what was cutting on my cameo a while ago. I'm going to ink the edges on that, and then I'll probably wrinkle those up so they're not so new looking. Okay, I'll set those aside for right now. I'll go around the edges on this one. And kind of wipe it across there, because that's really white. And I'm going to do the same thing to this one here also. Now, I have them all coated with Mod Podge on top, and I was trying to figure out how to decorate each one of them. I go ahead and glue the handle or stick down on this one, about right near's where I'm wanting it. So, I'm just hot gluing them. Turn it over this way, make sure I'm in the middle. And I'm down as far as I want to be. Okay, that's good for that one. I'll let that cool down. And then this one here, I just tied these 2 pieces of fabric, a Homespun red checked, and some of that coffee dyed, what was it, tablecloth that I cut up and coffee dyed it. And then this is a little tag I made, and then I used these kind of little pins, and I hooked a star on that one and a USA tag, and that one's finished. And with this one, I think I'm just going to put, I used my Bowdabra for this one and put it right here. I want it just a little different. So I'll glue that down on there. Okay, then I had this little tag. I guess it doesn't really matter which way. But, let's see, I want to unpin that. And that's backwards. Okay, this needs to go on. Then this needs to go on. And then I'll pin it right in here. I'm not sure if that needs something in the middle. I got a button out for this one. That one looks like it might need a button also, but I'll have to work with that because I'll have to move where it's pinned. And then this one, I just had that sitting there. I'm going to go around with material on it also. I'll have to cut it all down. I have 3 different types of material on this one. Hoping it's not too thick. Okay, now go again. Make a knot. 1, 2. See how that looks. I can't find my material scissors. I don't know where I set them. And that has a pretty big knot on it. I'm going to put that button right there. And then I have this Let Freedom ring tag that I made. And this one here said, God bless America. And then this one was USA. Pin that down on there. I think I'm going to find a button and put on that one too. Okay, those are finished now, except I am going to find, because to me that looks a little plain right here, just with that. And I'm going to find a button that goes on there and put a button on that one. And those are finished. And while I was doing this, I stopped right in the middle of it. I thought, I can make a file. I can make a popsicle myself for my laser. So, I did it. I went into my Silhouette software and made a popsicle. And this way, it looks a little more, I mean, see how thick that is? This one won't be. This is made out of 3mm. And if anybody's interested, I'll have it in my Buy Me a Coffee shop. It's just a place where I sell my, either my crafts, and I'll probably have these listed on there also. Because I have a lot of decor. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've got to stop keeping everything. So I'll list this, and then I'll list these probably as a set. All right, I have a couple more projects to do, and I'm going to get started, and I think the next one's going to be some crows. Well, I've decided to go ahead and throw this one together. And I'm using, hope I'm using glue. Let's see. I'm just going to do it like this. I don't have time to unclog that. Now, I'm doing this with glue instead of hot glue because hot glue sometimes dries fast and it leaves it sticking up. But you can see one piece is with the handle, and then this one goes on there. I'll try to even it out as much as I can. Okay, we'll leave that like that. And I was trying to figure out whether I took a fatter popsicle stick, and I used this to cut it off to the length I needed. I don't know whether to use that or that. You wouldn't have to have either one, really. It just gives it a little more depth. I think I'll use this one, and I'll use hot glue for this this stick. Don't want to burn myself. Put it in the center. I'm not going to embellish this and everything, but I just wanted to do a little bit of it to see how it was going to look. Okay, I'll just grab a piece of paper. I'm going to do this one. Look right in there. Looks like they're... So, get my Mod Podge, and I'm going to Mod Podge this down on there. You know what? I should have done, taken from me. Put this popsicle stick on this. Put this on so you can take your finger sander and sand it, and then glue it to the back. Yeah. All right. I'm going to get this glued down on there, and I'll come back and show it to you. Okay, now I am just painting these two crows black. I'm trying to make a kind of another vignette. And I'm going to put all this stuff together, and you'll see everything finished at the end. I didn't say that earlier. These are two different types of crows. But I'm just going to paint them black. I'm going to distress them. And then probably go over them with some brown antiquing wax. All right, I have sanded with my little finger sander around the edges. And now I'm going to just put that all over the crow. Or is this brown Jolie wax. And I'm doing both sides in case I happen to need to turn it a different way. And that way, both sides are finished. Now, I'll just wipe that back. And I'll do this one the same way. Now, I took just a stick from outside, and I cut a rectangle. And then I cut another piece of this blue with the white stars on it. That needs to be toned down, that white. That's too white for this project. Okay, there we go. I toned it down. But I'm just going to, I got on there. Take this little stick, I think. Put it around his neck. And I'll probably have to hot glue that stick too. I'm going to probably put it about like that. But I'm going to tie this first, and then I can maneuver the stick where I want it, the flag. Found my scissors. They were in the can where I keep my pliers and screwdrivers, and I'd stuck them down in that. Okay, now we will figure out how I want that. Up just a little bit. There's a knot on that stick. About like that. Okay, I'm going to glue that there because I don't want it to move. Oh, hot glue gun. I turned it off. Well, I will glue that there. And I think that one's done, unless I decide to do something else. Because you know me, I look at stuff and usually end up adding a little something, tweaking it somewhere. And then on this one, I think, yeah, to tie them in together, I'm going to tie this around his neck. And then, if I can find what I did with it, I have some rusty stars, some metal rusty stars, but this was laying out. It's just a wood heart, or wood star. And I put some glue and cinnamon on it. And I need to go over it before I use it. But I'm going to go over this with some Mod Podge or some glue. I thought I had that, wasn't thinking about not having that ready. And then I'll take some string and have that hanging down from his mouth. And if I decide to do something else, you'll see it. But that's what I'm going to do with both of the crows. And now I need flowers. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to paint, or I'm going to put some Mod Podge on this, let it be drying, set these aside, but I'm going to make some flowers. I do that over and over, but you know, I do have new subscribers that haven't seen me do it, and I won't spend a long time doing it, but I'll run through the main part of it where it's not too long, but people can tell what I'm doing. Okay, I make myself patterns and I keep them. I have a little box here that has some material and some cut round pieces and different sizes of cardboard, so I can always grab a size I want. I think this was a cottage cheese lid that I traced around. That was some container I traced around. I thought that would do. And I just traced the circles, 2 circles off of the large one onto material, what you want for your outside. And then for the center, I just do 1 and that. And then I am going to take a needle and thread and just do a running stitch all the way around till I get to about like right there. And then I'll come back and show you the running stitch and I'll stuff it. I've went all the way around with the running stitch. Well, not all the way. I've left this open, but see, I've came all the way around just with some big stitches. I've stopped right there so that I can stuff it, stuff the center of it. And that'll probably do it right there. And then I'll finish the running stitch the rest of the way. And then when I get all the way to the end, like right here, I'll go back down in there and I'll come up through there and I'll tie off. I'm at the end and I'm just going to tie off here, make a knot a couple times. And then from there, I'll just make some slits about 1 inch or so apart. Maybe not quite 1 inch. And I'm just doing it on the top. Oh, my scissors. And then once I go all the way around, then I'll come back on the underneath and I'll make a slit right in between the slits there. And I'll do that all the way around and your flower will be done. made several more. Let's see. I've done this one, and this one, and this one, and I have that one. I didn't need that many, but I done these, and I thought, oh, I didn't show somebody how to do this. Some people may not know. So that is what I've done so far with those. I'm going to finish this one up and finish my crows up. I have this is drying. It's almost dry. And then I'll go put all this together.